and for the gang. But Gordo, since we have you already, we have the first cue is, what's your concern about the inexpensive Chinese dual band radios? What is to like and what is not so preferred about the Chinese dual band radios? Over to you.
Well, I happen to have some here. I like them because they're inexpensive, $49 to $95. And they're good quality. They have great audio. They have neat little LEDs. But the problem with the Chinese handhelds for the new ham is that they are more difficult to program unless you have a pal that's going to help you program it. And I'm very happy to say that our buddy Clint Bradford, K6LCS, he's got a new service called hamradioprogramming.com. And his service is programming specifically these inexpensive Chinese handhelds. So log on to his webpage, hamradioprogramming, one word.com, and see if he can help you out. So, Cheryl, I like the Chinese handhelds, but they are difficult to program, and some, since they're Part 90, are really designed not to be programmed once they come into the country. And I mean, how are you going to program this without a keypad? Well, if you had a computer, sure. But in an emergency, and we're going to be discussing this at the Nevada State Convention that I'll be at May 30, 31, and June 1st in Virginia City. Our California Rescue Aries group will be there, and we're going to be talking about how to get these inexpensive handhelds programmed up properly for those in the emergency comm field. Back to you, Cheryl.
Hey, thanks, Gordo. And on another note regarding the similar Chinese radios, can you clear up the mystery on what's allowed to be programmed into those Chinese radios? You know, the part with the Part 90 certification, can volunteer, fire frequency, search rescue, FRS and GMRS, those types of things, multi-use radio service and marine band channels, can that be programmed in there for transmit and receive?
And the answer is on any radio, yes, with the proper programming software, or if the radio needs to be modified for Mars and Coast Guard auxiliary, certainly. Hams can do their own programming and put in anything and everything. Where the problem occurs is if they're told that the Part 90 Chinese handhelds can work any band, any service. Not really. The MERS, multi-use radio service, has restrictions, and it's a Part 95 service. Family radio service requires a antenna that is non-removable, so that would leave out the Part 90 Chinese handheld radio. And the GMRS service, unless it's a grandfathered, very old land mobile radio, it too would not meet the Part 90 specs because GMRS is Part 95. So again, no problem having these services in the radio, including the transmit side, but just don't be caught transmitting on a frequency on a radio that is not type accepted or type approved for that particular part. And Part 90 covers a lot, but not the Part 95 radios.
Hey, Cheryl, I've got something for you on these radios. One thing that I like about them is they seem to be incredibly feature-rich for the price. Like, for instance, a true dual band, which will be great for working satellites because you need to hear both the VHF and the UHF, be able to transmit and receive at the same time, so a true dual band. And I noticed that I believe is it the Baofeng, the 8B, the UV8B, I think it is. I think it's the Baofeng radio is coming out that actually has full crossband repeat. And I haven't really seen crossband repeat on an HT in a long time. The last one I can remember, I think, is my old Yaesu FT530, which again is a true dual band radio and has crossband repeat and is a great radio for working those satellites. But my God, back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I bought that radio, you couldn't buy that for what the price of these Chinese radios are now. So I thought there's a lot of features for the money on those Chinese radios, but the key is, man, you got to buy the programming cable and program those with your computer, Cheryl.
Absolutely, that is so true. No front panel programming. Even if they had it, it's forget about it. It's not good. So let's move on to a couple more here. I have and Gordo, I hate to pick on you, but you probably have the answer to this one from Phil CS7 AFP. He wanted to know, what's the best antenna to work the International Space Station, the ISS, a helix, or what kind of antenna system? What can you recommend?
Well, working the International Space Station, again, Clint Bradford at his hamradioprogramming.com. He's the expert there, but, he works it all day long with just a little 3-element arrow antenna, and he moves it vertical to somewhat vertical to track his own audio that he hears, as Don was saying, on dual band, full duplex, so he can hear his own audio. So, nope, you don't need a helix. You don't need a cross-polarized antenna. Just that great little arrow antenna, 3 or 4 elements is all you need to easily work the space station if they are up on the air.
Sure, absolutely. That does matter, of course, if they're there to get the transmission, of course. All right. Thank you very much, Gordo. And it was a pleasure to see you out in California there. Excellent. So let's go to George, Mr. Smoke and Solder. I hope